All right. So I really was attracted to this topic for emotional intelligence for couples. So whether you're, married or living together, engaged, dating, any of those where you're in relationship with somebody, emotions are going to be flying around all over the place. And if you watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, you be led to believe that it's all about emotions and nothing else is important. We're talking about an area where emotions are and emotional intelligence are very important. And it was funny today. Do you ever have a time experience where you're kind of brainstorming with yourself and you're trying out some new ideas and you're going down different tunnels and there's no cheese down most of them, but then all of a sudden you get to surprise yourself and you hit on something that you never thought that you would, gravitate to, and it gives you an idea for something you're looking for. So I was playing around with some ideas today about what are some other ways I could talk about what I do, that would might people might get it easier. So I ended up in this tunnel where I hit upon this very popular line from a movie that you all probably heard before, and the line is, "I see dead people." And when I hit on that, I said, "Oh, that gives me an idea of how I can talk about what I do, because what I do is I cure angry people." And there was something resonated for me with those two statements. And not only do they sort of sound similar or have the same kind of flow, but when you think about it, seeing dead people is a very rare skill. Very few people can do it. Well, curing angry people is also a very rare skill. There's very few people can do it. I've been doing it for 40 years. I do a lot of work with people who are angry about going through a divorce, or they've gone through the divorce and the anger's still there. And as Andy mentioned, you get the texts and the emails and you just get triggered so easily. Just thinking about your ex or just seeing your ex just can ruin people's days. They get just angry all day. So I end up doing a lot of work there, but my heart is more, and I like that, I enjoy it, but my heart is more in preventing divorce. I'd rather get a hold of people before they get to that point where they decided to divorce, or one of them has decided to divorce, and teaching them about anger so it doesn't kill their relationship over time. And I was thinking today, okay, what are some of the things that how do you prevent divorce and prevent relationship failures? And I came up with like six things that I thought were important. One is you got to start off with commitment and mutual respect and appreciation. If you don't have those things, you don't really have much of a relationship. And then, as other speakers have mentioned, you need to have communication skills. And then you need to have relationship enhancement skills. You got to know how to make relationships worthwhile. And the fourth thing is you got to know how not to destroy relationships. We all have sort of automatic tendencies that if we're just on automatic pilot, we're going to probably kill our relationships unless we are aware of how we do that and step in to try and keep that from happening. And then the last two that I came up with were emotional intelligence and emotional mastery, or emotions mastery. And to me, those are two different things. They're related, but emotional intelligence is really when people are able to theorize about emotions. They're able to have academic conversations, discuss the literature about emotions. But to me, emotions mastery is when you can command and control your emotions, when you have that kind of wisdom, that kind of knowledge, that it gives you power over your emotions. And intelligence is more about having certain cognitive skills around emotions, but mastery is being able to take effective actions consistently and produce your desired results in the area of different emotions consistently. And this may come up in relationships. We frequently have to deal with anger, but we also have to deal with fear and worry and guilt and sadness. These are all emotions that frequently come up in the context of relationships, and it really helps to be able to command and control these relationship or these emotions when they come up in your relationship so they don't cause damage. So, how would you go about developing emotions mastery? Well, I help people do that. And the way I do it is first I give them a model of understanding human emotions that's very, very simple and uncomplicated. Doesn't have a lot of psychological jargon associated with it or theories associated with it, but it gives them power and control. So I teach them a model that's very simple to learn. And part of that model is appreciating the difference between what I call internal and external causes. When it comes to our emotions, we tend to be more focused on the external causes, the triggers, the things that we see. But a lot of the action is really going on invisibly in our brains, and those are what I call the internal causes of our emotions. I have people recognize that there are these two sets of causes and make them more aware of the internal ones. And then the next piece is can you show people what the specific internal causes are of each of those emotions I mentioned, the five or six emotions I mentioned that are very common. So what are the internal causes of anger? And there's usually like three for each emotion. What are the internal causes of fear? What are the internal causes of guilt? What are the internal causes of sadness? What are the internal causes of worry? And when you know the three causes for each of those emotions, the ones that are the causes that are invisible, and now you can see them, it gives you like X-ray vision. Literally, it's a superpower. It's like you're Superman or Superwoman, and you can walk around seeing things that other people can't see and appreciate because you now know how your brain's creating your emotions and what it's actually doing to produce them. And so that's basically I give people that model, and then I also help them understand that it's really important to realize the likelihood of being wrong when you have a strong negative emotion, that your brain is playing tricks with you, that it's distorting reality in some ways, it's misrepresenting reality in some ways, and based on those misrepresentations is where your emotions are actually coming from. So in our society, in most cultures, people tend to think if they have a strong emotion, it means they're right about whatever they're emoting about or feeling about. But in actuality, if you understand how the emotions get created by the brain, you're likely going to be wrong when you have a strong fear reaction or a strong anger reaction or a strong sadness reaction. Doesn't mean you're totally wrong or completely wrong, but there's going to be aspects of it that you'll probably be incorrect about. So that's how I ended up curing my own emotions problems and anger problems and fear problems that I had in my 20s and 30s, and that's what I've been teaching people how to do ever since. So I basically show them how their brain creates their emotions. I give them the X-ray vision into the simple three, little lines of code that your brain uses to create each of the emotions, and then empower them to be able to use that information to take control of their emotions and allow them to be there when they're serving a purpose and when they're causing mischief or difficulty or conflict, they can make them go away when they want to. And the results are they get more emotional control and mastery. They have increased self-awareness. They have more humility about where their emotions are coming from, and their relationships with everybody get better, and their levels of risk for ending up in a failed relationship or getting divorced go way down ideally when both people in the relationship have command of their emotions and knowledge of their emotions. So that's basically what I do and what I enjoy doing. And you can see above me there's my email address if you want to reach out to me. And also, if you go to that URL up top, there's a short video course that I have on six of the common negative emotions. The other one being frustration that I didn't mention. And I show you the internal causes of each of those, and you can do the whole course in under 4 hours. And it will literally give you X-ray vision into those six common emotions, and you'll be able to do magic with that. So I highly recommend it. And basically, those are the few comments I wanted to have, and I'm happy to answer questions or participate in a panel or whatever you want to do.
Well, that sounds amazing. Get with him and get that program. We have actually two people right now who can't be speakers anymore because of their anger issues. And so, yes, we have two people in our group. And so we don't want to mention names, but this is real. This is really real. So thank you, Dr. Moore. Thank you, Dr. J. Thank you, Alexandra. Thank you, Shawana. Thank you, Dr. Andrea. I want everybody on the video now. Everybody on the video. Drum roll. So, Robert Butwin, our sponsor for Live Pure, and I've put my link in the site in case you came on earlier and watched the video and you'll just want to order some great healthy products. We would like you to let me just quickly stop recording.